Hello my Pisces, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to my channel, Adrian H of AHN Great Life. So let's see what July 2020 holds for you. Okay, you all know, for those of you that follow my channel, if you're new, welcome. But for those of you that are following my channel, you would know that, last week I looked into soulmate love, and then we looked into twin flames, and we looked into past life, but now we want to see what's happening looking forward. Okay, we're looking towards the future now. I feel that many of you have some questions in your life in general, and we want to see what's going on. So remember, this is a general reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Ascending. Okay. All right, then we're starting with love. Okay, let's see. Oh. Okay. All right. Let's see, Pisces. What's happening for you? Of course, whatever's for you, you claim that inside your heart for yourself. And if it's not for you, then it's not for you. You know, you release it with peace and you let it go. There's a situation here that seemed like it might have started off as something small. Sorry if you don't know me, my name is Adrian. I'm a psychic medium holistic wellness practitioner. And I live in the beautiful Cape Town in South Africa. And I've got a reading coming out for you every week. So you're more than welcome to, if you want, to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. You can have a personal detailed reading. It's $12 for 30 minutes reading. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram. This is interesting. I want to get into this reading. Oh. So some of you may have had a love situation that actually came apart. Sorry about that. I really shouldn't be biting my fingers. So some of you had like a this is interesting. It's like a love situation, a romance, which may have been some, but it's almost like the temperature dropped, you know. Things went from good to fine, and then it went to not. Those little irritations that we can sometimes have with people, you know, be it whatever bathroom habits or whatever case may be. I feel that for some of you, you felt like this didn't really fit into your life anymore, you know. Things started to feel sloppy. And you didn't like that. And you didn't want that. And you're also very clear about what it is that you do want. And some of you said, listen, if I need to do this on my own, I'm going to do this on my own. But it's like you may have overlooked some things in the past and you weren't prepared to do it anymore. This is like the overall energy of your reading. Okay? So some of you may have been thinking about this for a while, okay? But some time ago, I feel that you made the decision to cut certain ties, certain unexpected ties, by the way. And it's like you needed some time to come to terms with the decision, okay? So it doesn't strike me as something that is just kind of started now. You may have suddenly woken up one morning or something and you went like, okay, you know, this is not what I want. This is not what I want to have. But then the execution itself, that took a while. In fact, for some of you, you probably didn't speak about this. It's almost like this very heavy, tangible sort of mist situation. You know, like sometimes in the novels they describe the the tangible situation, that nobody's speaking about it, or it might even be that you're being confronted by it, but you're like, no, it's not there. It almost feels like once you speak about it, there's such a finality about it, and you can't actually turn back. Okay? And some of you, for the longest time, maybe even now, you're not quite sure if you're ready to have this sort of conversation. But things have come to a pinnacle point where they're going to have to be spoken about. Okay. Let's see what we have. Pandora's out of this box. Pandora's out of this box. Okay. So you tried the emotional approach and it didn't work. I feel that a number of you have, the thing where you maybe like cry in the shower or in the dark, or a Judy Boucher, for those of you that know Judy Boucher, said, I do my crying in the rain. I do my crying in the rain. But bit by bit, you started, it's like it started, it's almost like a light starting to turn on. You became aware of what it is that you needed to do, both for yourself and the other person. Oh. Some of you may have had a very difficult time with yourself, because it's almost like you feel like you've done the other person an injustice, that you should have spoken up sooner. And you want to be careful, because that in itself can become a news cycle, and you don't really want that. This is interesting. I didn't expect this. Well, I don't really, obviously have an expectation from a reading, but this is bizarre. On the one hand, it looks good. On the other hand, it looks unhinged. So some of you may have been approached, could be work or something else, but likely romantically approached by someone else. And this could have been like an eye-opener to you, because you didn't realize, especially for those of you that are, in relations with someone, or married, some sort of couples relationship, togetherness. You didn't realize that you were giving off that sort of vibe that would imply that you were actually somehow available for whatever, And I feel for some of you that was a real turning moment, because you went like, there's something about Pisces when you're in love that everybody will know it. Like, it's, and whether you've been with this person for a long time or it's something new, everybody will sort of know when Pisces is available and when not. So when you were available, that was a real big wake-up call for you. That was kind of like a turning point that changed everything quite a lot. Because the relationship with yourself was out of sync. Yeah. Let's see. But what I do like is that you have got the courage to move forward again, to get past the hurt. But what does concern me is that I feel that for some of you here, that if you have to choose someone that that may be the person who pulls the short end of the stick, it's almost like you would let it be you. And I don't know if that is the best choice for you, because there is a very real chance here that you can get stuck sort of in an energy that is really not, going to serve you best. That the loop that you want to get out of could suck you into a new loop. Oh. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So some of you, there was the proposal, the talk of the next big step. Let's get married. Let's be monogamous. Let's, I don't know, move out of this space where engagement is just an engagement. Meanwhile, you was probably thinking like, how about we backpack through Europe? I want to say this in the nicest possible sense, but it feels that some of you may have been in a situation after a while that it became sort of convenient. It became a habit, And so I feel that quite strongly, but I also feel the possibility of having maybe been approached, and it doesn't mean that somebody came, approached you openly, but, maybe, as a lady, you're walking down the road and, the guys are like, baby girl. Or as a guy, you're walking down and you're getting more attention. But I feel it's especially the ladies that are struggling with this one. You know that something needs to be done. It's kind of, you're not sure if stepping away is the best solution though. Or if you can figure this thing out. I feel that you are concerned about being too hasty, Like if I made it this far, what is a little while longer? I need some clarity in the situation. I'll have to see. Let's see. This one's kind of got me boggled. Let's see. So what brought you here? Okay, well, let's first look at where this energy is going. Let's see where it's going. Let's look at this from a different angle. I won't really say there's lies. It's more like truth maybe that wasn't told. Sometimes we don't say something initially and then after a while it just becomes such a almost inconvenience to speak about, but it's there. It has an effect on everything and on everyone and on your whole situation. What's going on, Pisces? What's going on? it's like the hand of help has been offered to you, you know, so many times you can't afford against it, that it might almost be like you feel um, like a new sort of solution is required here. And it actually seems like that's a good way to go about things, because just stepping away could work, but I feel that you might be very, very lonely, you know, with it just stepping away. But it's also, it's almost like a solution is being offered to you, like an answer is there, that it's available, but you also don't want that. You know, you're like, no, not that. Something different, something else. Somebody's getting hurt in this situation. If I may give you some advice, Pisces, what I see is that with the difficult choice ahead of you, you're going to have to first find, you may not be able to find full peace, but you want to find sort of like that ray of hope, you know, emotional stability, so to speak, for yourself. And you may need to, from time to time, stop and then just look at things again. There's a strong encouragement to not just go on fighting. You know, make reasonable goals for yourself, achievable goals for yourself, and also in making the goals, also when you reach this, give yourself a time frame, and also decide how you're going to celebrate when you reach the time frame. So you kind of give your mind something to work towards. Okay. I wouldn't take everything on all at once if I were you, because I feel that might be very overwhelming. In fact, there's a warning for you against, you know, taking everything on all at once. You can easily go into this dark sort of space, and you don't really want to do that. Okay. Because you're going into something new, you're going into a new period here, but it is such a, it appears to be such a big challenge for you. And you want to be careful, because this new change where you are going, you know, going as well as staying can actually both hit you hard. So what do we have then for that? Small increments. So very powerful. For first of all, change is it's almost inevitable. Okay. It's almost like you know, you may feel like you dealt with some things, like you dealt with your demons and stuff like that, and you can. It's almost like they might be coming back. However, I like this. I like this. I like this. I like this. Some good news. As you, and remember, systematically, not everything all at once, as you allow yourself to, in a way, this is almost like, you know, you can feel a lot of emotions. So what you want to do is you kind of want to work with your mind the way that a regression hypnotist works in a session. They don't give you too much. I would know, because I'm a spiritual regression hypnotist. You're not going to give somebody too much to deal with at once. Okay? So the change, first of all, it's inevitable. Okay? a lot of things that you felt that you have dealt with are coming up. That's on the table. That's, if you want to really be as corny as that, it's in the cards. Okay. Yeah. So it's not like you don't want to actually be with this person who might have proposed to you. In fact, I feel that you really want to, but there are certain things that needs to be dealt with first. There are certain emotions that need to be dealt with first, because you don't feel that it's fair to go into a situation, get somebody else, into the situation with all this baggage. So whilst you might have had maybe like one of those long relationships or whatever the case may be, maybe it's like a long distance and now you're moving closer to each other. Before you have this close proximity, before this person is, fully invested in the situation, and it's like a sense of responsibility. You want them to know exactly what they're getting themselves into. But before you can do that, you also need to sort of soberly deal with the situation, because it's almost like you don't have 100% grasp of it either. You sort of put a fence around it, pretty fence, and it's like a garden. It's everything grown, but underneath the ground, the corpse are still there. But you're doing that. This is what I love. You're doing that inner work. You're doing it. It's hard, but you're doing it. And healing from the pain. More open to suggestion there. Got a clearer sense of who you are. I feel for many of you, it's not so much about finding out who you are. It's almost like finding out who you are not, or who you choose not to be. And you want to be at peace with your decision. All right. I hope you're okay, my sweet angels. Let me know what's happening. Okay. If it resonates with you, like the video, or drop me a comment. Let me know what's happening. The third party is going away. If there's any sort of third party, the third party is going away. Okay, so I'll see you next week. Subscribe to the channel if it resonates with you. Subscribe to my Facebook channel, Instagram, and I'll see you next week.